Hello everyone. Hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome to a show poll where we're doing a poll to see what show I'm going to be watching next. And I wanted to say it's the first one, but not really. So a couple weeks ago, I released a video asking people, hey, what shows are shows that you would want me to watch? Not necessarily what show I'm gonna watch, but like recommendations, right? So with that in mind, I went in and so Dark finish, we know this, and then I started Chernobyl because I somebody said Chernobyl and I was like, yeah, I wanted to watch that, and it's short, it's super short, it's like 5 episodes, so I was like, I'm gonna do Chernobyl now. However, um, whatever I'm gonna be doing after Chernobyl, not sure. So what I decided to do is, hey, I'm gonna leave it up to the people because this is a democracy. God damn it, we're gonna figure it out as a group, and whatever the majority votes, that's what we're gonna be doing. So that's it. Um, the way the voting for this is going to work is you're gonna comment with the name of the show, and then I'm just gonna count after X amount of the. I actually didn't figure. Okay, to 28 on December 28th. So a week from now, if this video goes live today on the 21st, then Saturday 28th of December, we'll figure out when we'll figure out what I'm going to be watching next. So that's how that works. Just vote by leaving a comment on the video. I thought about doing the Patreon poll thing again, but not a lot of people showed up for the classic Doctor Who one, given that might be because it's classic Doctor Who, not a lot of people care. But fuck it. I figured you have to make an account or whatever for Patreon. It's gonna be easier if you just leave a comment on this video. And we're not a big channel or anything yet, so fuck it. We're just gonna do this for now because who gives a shit? Alright, so the way this poll is going to work is that I chose a number of shows that I either heard about and I was like, oh, I'm interested in that I've been meaning to watch, or that people have recommended to me in the video that I left, or any other time, right? That people have just said, hey, that show's cool, and I was like, gotcha. So a bunch of these shows are shows that people have recommended to me. A couple of them, not really, but I'm sure there's a number of people that gave a shit about each of the shows. Maybe one of them is a little bit iffy, but we'll get there. Okay. So the shows in question are, first of all, Stranger Things. So Stranger Things, I've heard it brought up back when I did Dark, because people compare those two, at least initially. And I was like, yeah, I can see it from what my understanding of Stranger Thing is, but then the Dark went fucking completely different route, and I was like, yeah, that's good because I enjoy that. Stranger Things, I assume, is going more the disappearances and mystery, and then maybe some eldritch shit or alien I don't know. I don't know. Just not time, just space shit. And I'm just like, okay, sure, I'll take it. It's also apparently like heavily like 80s themed in its presentation. So I'm just like, okay, cool. We can do that. So Stranger Things thrown in there. I've heard good things, but I don't know anything about it. So second, Breaking Bad. I've heard nothing but good things about Breaking Bad, and all I know about it is that apparently it's a show about them drugs. I know there is one guy, and there's drugs involved, and I think there's another guy, and that's my entire knowledge of the Breaking Bad. But apparently it was a really good show, and it ended, and it was amazing. Like it's one of those shows that like it was good, and then they decided, all right, let's wrap it up, and then it ended, and it was great the whole way through apparently. So there you go. A lot of shows are actually like good until they stop being good, but this one was great, and it ended great, and everyone's happy with it. So Breaking Bad, it's there, so sure, vote for that one if you want. Next one on the list is Hannibal. Hannibal, I know that there was a book, and then I know that there were movies, and that's it. I know that dude eats people. That's my entire knowledge of Hannibal Lecter. I'm not sure what the show is about. I assume it's some sort of retelling of the story or taking inspiration from the original book and then doing some shit with it. That's all I know. It's probably like more of a thriller, like police investigation kind of deal, maybe. Um, I know Matt Mikkelsen is in it, and I never seen Matt Mikkelsen in anything, but I know that is the dude that Hideo Kojima has a huge crush on. So yeah, we can maybe give Hannibal a shot. I had a friend who watched it, and they were like, "Yeah, the show's dope." Given that friend is into fucked up shit, so maybe it's because of that, but we'll see. All right, so next on the list, and this is one of the shows that was actually requested quite a bit on the comments, and it's The Expanse. So uh, like I said, a couple of the shows were grabbed from. I heard about them, and I was like, okay, and I know that people care about them. A couple of the shows are shows that I care about, or like not care about, but I want to watch personally. And then there are shows that I know nothing about. I'm super cold on, and then people said, "Watch that though." This is one of those. This is one of the shows that I know nothing about, and people have just said, "Hey, watch this," and I'm just like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna throw it in there." So, The Expanse. I don't know what it is about. I assume it's some sci-fi bullshit from what Wikipedia tells me, and apparently it was going on for a couple seasons, and then it was canceled. But then Amazon picked it up, and apparently the new season came out just now, or it's coming out. I don't know how that works, but like it's alive. It was dead, and then it wasn't. So The Expanse is there, and apparently it's good. People say it's good. People that like it say it's good, although that is the case with everything. So, the Expanse is in there. So vote for that one if you want. Okay, this next one though. You know how I just said there are shows that I heard people talk about. There are shows that people have recommended to me, and then there are shows that nobody gives a shit about. But I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna throw that one in there. This is one of those. This is one of the shows that literally nobody cares for. I mean, some people care for, but probably not the major general audience. And this one show is called Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiga. If you want to try again with English, is Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger. Um, it's just the same English pronunciation. It's a Japanese show. It's a Sentai show. It's a tokusatsu. If you know what that is, then you know what that is. If you don't, then you don't. But it's basically Power Rangers. Power Rangers is Sentai, actually. It's the other way around. Um, I don't have any experience with Sentai and Tokusatsu in general, other than knowing that it exists and knowing that it's amazing. Because it's just like a bunch of dumb costumes, a bunch of dumb spandex fighting with the costumes, a bunch of mechs that are excused to sell toys and poses and over dramatical shit, and shit explodes, and it's great. That's all I know about Tokusatsu. And I'm interested in watching a Sentai show. I've always meant to, and I somebody actually like emailed me and said, "Hey, okay, this is what you want to do if you want to get into Sentai." And I was like, "Okay, I didn't ask for this, but thank you." Like actually, it's a little bit weird, but I still appreciate it. So thank you. I'm gonna keep this guide with me. And apparently this is one of the good ones because there's like 50 seasons of Sentai. I'm not gonna watch 50 seasons of Sentai, dude. I'm not gonna do it. Apparently this is like the all-star one from what I read about it when I did some wiki. And there might be some references in there that I'm not gonna get because I have to watch like the previous like 30 seasons of Sentai or whatever. So that's not gonna happen. But it's gonna be fun. So if Sentai wins, if Gokaiga wins, then fuck it, let's go. I also dig pirates, so let's do it. Okay, next one on the list, and there are a couple shows in this list that are on the shorter side, and I actually would prefer those one, but honestly, you don't do that. Just vote for the one that you want to win. But this one, next one is one that I was torn between Chernobyl and this one, and I chose Chernobyl, and apparently I chose well because people seem to have liked Chernobyl so far. But this one is Good Omens. And this one and the next two are kind of a BBC shows. Not really BBC. This is not a BBC show, but they're aimed towards BBC people, I guess, because British stuff, you know? Good Omens. I know nothing about it other than it might be about gay angels and demons. David Tennant is in it. He wears a leather jacket and sunglasses. And it was written by not written like So it's an adaptation from a novel, I think, and it was by Neil Gaiman, and that's cool. So that's all I know about it. Also, it's short. It's like 6 episodes, isn't it? So I'm like, yeah, I'm down for giving that a shot. It's not very long, so and it seems that a lot of people like it, honestly. So I'm just throwing that in there. If you like Good Omens, vote for that. Okay, next one, again on the BBC Parade, and this one might be the replacement for Doctor Who whenever we do finish Doctor Who. But I figure, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw this in here. And it's Torchwood. So we got Torchwood going on. I never watched Torchwood. Okay, I never watched Torchwood. So I know, I know what you would know about Torchwood by watching Doctor Who, because Torchwood is a spin-off of Doctor Who, featuring Captain Jack Harkness, and we all love him. We all love him. We all love John Barrowman. He was great, but then he never showed up again, and that kind of sucked. There's a woman named One, I think. I think there's a guy named Yanto, and I don't know anything else. I assume there's more characters. And I also know that this is a couple seasons long, like 4 seasons, something like that. This is what Russell T Davies went to do after he decided to quit Doctor Who, and he just did this and Sarah Jane. So Torchwood is apparently good, from what I understand of it. Also, if I understood this correctly, then Doctor Who is aimed to be more of a family thing. Sarah Jane was aimed to be more of a kid thing, kid friendly, and then Torchwood was aimed to be more of a mature audience thing. So there might be some stuff going on in Torchwood. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Torchwood is in there. People might enjoy it, so fuck it, throw it in there. Even if it doesn't win the poll here or the next one or whatever, I'm probably gonna replace Doctor Who with Torchwood after I'm done with Doctor Who. So Torchwood, it seems to me like an inevitability. It will happen at some point. So I just want to point that out. So don't be too bummed out if you want Torchwood, but then it's like it's not winning or whatever. Just fuck it. Okay. Next one is Firefly. I again know nothing about this one. It was just recommended to me. It's, I assume, some sci-fi shit. Okay, apparently no. I know something. The show was apparently canceled way back when. Like it was on the run for like the first season or something like that, and then it was canceled. And it just, but there was a group of people that just watched it and they were hardcore fans. And then they just championed for that show to come back in some way, shape, or form. They wanted to keep going. They wanted some kind of continuation to the story. And apparently a movie came out that continues that. And I'm not sure if that movie's any good or if it's a good continuation or whatever. I just don't want to be left hung in on a cliffhanger and then just nothing. I want an actual show here. So I'm down for watching Firefly and then the movie and then whatever, you know. People maybe will let me know, but apparently Firefly was good. I mean, to the point that people started just making so much nonsense that they went, fine, let's go, let's do it, you know, then it's probably good. The Voice. That's the other show, The Voice. I think the show is also very short. I know nothing about it. I think it's some superhero nonsense bullshit. It's not very long. It's apparently really good. People have been talking about it for a bit. It's also been compared to Watchmen, and I've watched the Watchmen movie, not the show or the comics. I just watched the movie, and I know that there is a major difference between the movie and the comic at the end, but that's all. I don't really know. I'm not a hardcore Watchmen man, you know. But the comparison allows me for actually like drawing a line and being like, oh, okay, maybe like that then, and I can see it, you know, like a group of guys, fucked up world, some superhero bullshit, but it's mostly fucked up stuff. So it's like, okay, sure, maybe that. So there you go, The Boys is in there, and fuck it, I'm making an executive decision. I'm throwing in another show, Watchmen. I know there's a new Watchmen show going on, and apparently it's been good. People have been talking about it, I think, and I'm someone that, again, has not read the comic and has only watched the movie, which I thought was a pretty fun movie, by the way. It had some cool stuff in it. So I don't know. I don't know if the show will be great to react to, me having seen the movie, but I don't know what the show is doing actually. Like I don't know if the show is gonna retell the story or is gonna be something different, or I don't know. Okay, so I'm just throwing Watchmen in there. People that know will vote for it, and people that or won't, right? Because if they go like, nah, it's not a great show to react to, then they'll just skip it. So I'm just throwing it in there, and we'll see what happens. Game of Thrones. That's the next one. Okay, so let's talk about Game of Thrones for a second. I know a couple things about Game of Thrones. Not really spoiler territory stuff, but I do know that Jon Snow doesn't know shit. I also know that a winter is coming at some point. Across its like 8 seasons, at some point winter was coming, and then I assume at some point arrived. I know memes essentially, but like no. The main thing that I want to talk about Game of Thrones is that apparently it sucked at the end specifically. So it's a weird thing because it's like I've never seen so many people care about something so much until they didn't. I never seen so many people actually like be so hardcore fans about something until they decided, nah, fuck that shit, man. I just want to forget. Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen. I've never seen so many people do that, and it was hilarious. It was amazing. That's my experience with Game of Thrones, okay? My experience with Game of Thrones is what I hear from social media and everyone around me that has seen it, because a lot of people seen it. Game of Thrones was like the fucking dopest shit for I don't know how many years. But it was amazing when the show ended. Was it earlier this year, I think? Yeah. It ended, or like the final episodes were happening, right? And I was just reading Twitter or whatever, and people were saying like, what the fuck was that shit? And then some people were like, no, that episode was good, man. I don't know what the haters are saying. That episode was great. I love this shit. And then the next week happened. And then the same people that were defending the previous episode said like, okay, I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. And then new people were defending the show from the previous people that are now on the hating side. And then the next week happened, and the people that were defending it on the second time are actually attacking it the third time because they go, what the fuck? Right? And that kept happening until the final episode where basically nobody was on board with it anymore. Everyone was just like, fuck, I'm out. Just like, I feel robbed. I feel like I got suckered into watching a 70-hour-long movie only for them to just spit on my face and tell me to leave. And I got nothing out of it, That's what I know about Game of Thrones, is that it was great for a couple seasons, and then it kind of stopped being great, and then it just fucking derailed into madness and nonsense, and it was terrible. From what I hear, apparently, like because okay, so the first seasons are adaptations of the books that were out. The problem is that when you were reaching the end, you don't have a book to adapt. The guy who made the books isn't done yet. There's like 2 books left. Grimm, is that what people call him? Grimm, J.R.R. Martin, yeah, George R.R. Martin. So then the people that made the show, I think they're called D&D, which is weird because I think of D&D and I think of like rolling dice and backstabbing motherfucker. Well, that's what they did. Never mind that. So D&D, apparently they just didn't know what the fuck to do, so they just made up some bullshit and it was terrible, and that was the end of that. It wasn't anything like what people were hoping it would be because they just didn't have the material to adapt, so fuck it. So there you go. The reason why I think Game of Thrones is an amazing pick in this list is because I am someone who enjoys trash, okay? This has been documented. I enjoy stupid shit. Now, I mean, to the point that when Game of Thrones is coming to an end, and I kept reading people saying, this show sucks. I hate it. I hate what it did to me. I'm just reading that, and my first thought was, really? God, I want to watch that now. Like, I want to watch that now. Now I know that it it ends badly and it sucks and everybody hates it, I'm like, ooh, that's fun. I want to get in on that. I want to be part of this, and I wanted to watch it. And then I was like, no, maybe I'll do it for the channel at some point. Now I'm just like, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. So I'm throwing it in there. And the reason why this is great is because it's a weird experiment of like, I am someone who knows this show is gonna shit the bed on the final like couple episodes specifically. It's gonna be great, and then at the end it's gonna be like, nope, I'm out. So what would happen if someone who knows it's gonna be bad, like goes in from episode 1 knowing it's gonna be bad, or someone that also not only knows it's gonna be bad, but also enjoys when things go bad, because I enjoy train wrecks. Train wrecks are fun, so I want to get into a train wreck and I want to see what the fuck goes on here. So I think it would be a fun experiment to see, like, to commit myself to like a year of Game of Thrones, only for then at the end to just be like, yeah, man, that sucked. that would be fun. Would I feel betrayed? Would I feel backstabbed? Would I feel robbed? Or would I just lose my shit and just burst into tears laughing because it was great? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. That would be a fun experiment to do, won't we? So both for Game of Thrones, if you want to see that. I actually also don't start like a thread of like, yo, Game of Thrones was good actually. Don't talk shit on it, because I haven't seen it. I just say what I hear, and like, dude, what fucking. There were people that actually, I think I mentioned Game of Thrones in the original video where I asked for shows, and there were people that actually told me in the comments, don't watch Game of Thrones, it's a waste of time. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, that's great. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. Also, I want to say, please vote for whichever one you want, like, you actually want to watch, okay? Like, don't look at the comments and try to like min-max it and be like, okay, no, okay, it seems that these two shows are winning, I'm gonna go for that one because I guess I prefer that one. No, vote for the one that you want, okay? This is the problem with doing the system like this. Vote for the one that you actually want. So yeah, and like maybe the tide will swing. You don't know that. People might show up. So yeah, do that. I want people to do that actually. So all right, so that's the end of the list. So god, this is like 20 minutes long. So the shows in short are Stranger Things, Breaking Bad, Hannibal, The Expanse, Kaizoku Sendai Gokaiger, Good Omens, Torchwood, Firefly, The Boys, Watchmen, and Game of Thrones. So those are all of them. We can see what we do now. We can figure it out. So I'm just gonna stop this video. I'm gonna edit it real quick, and then I'm gonna upload it, and we'll see what we do. So okay, thank you everyone for watching this, and let me figure out what we're gonna do here. So yeah, let's go and do that. Okay, thank you everyone. Take care.